It is, in fact, the volcanic area is the most densely populated volcanic area in the world. So from this perspective from here, if you look there, you can see the yellow tuff stone, and buildings are part of it, part of the hills. We are in Mergellina, and we turn right now in a few minutes, and we will enjoy the view from a high perspective, and we will be able to see the entire bay in Naples, which is breathtaking, I can swear. Via Orazio, Orazio Street, Horace Street. We will be in Petrarca Street, Boccaccio Street. That means that this part, look at the view, this part is dedicated to poets, Latin poets and Italian poets. And it is called Posillipo, from Greek, means that you get well only staying here. And people, riders, travelers from the Grand Tour, for example, Grand Tour of travelers in the second half of the 19th century, no, the first half of the 19th century, started to come here because they were attracted by Pompeii, the excavations of Pompeii, the ruins of Pompeii. But when they came here, they got enchanted by this landscape, and so they founded the school of Vedutismo, the painting of panoramas, the painting of views, and this was the postcard which was spread out all over the world. Don't worry, because in a few minutes we will go off, okay? And we will take our photos with our pictures. Via Petrarca. Petrarca was a Italian writer from the 13th century, and so this area, if you come here, just make an agreement on the spot. There are. This is the city with no rules. The only rules is making agreement on the spot. You go, I go. No, you go, go. That's the way. We don't have rules. So, flats, apartments, all apartments and flats have got the balcony overlooking the sea. And this is the sea. This is the city of the sea. For us, it's important to look at of course, you say ocean. This is Mediterranean Sea, and of course Vesuvius, because it's not our enemy. It's only our reminder that we must enjoy life.
Those big mountains are Vesuvius.
Yes, exactly. In a few moments, yeah, okay, you can see the Vesuvius up there. Okay, Vesuvius is over there on your left hand side, and maybe you're wondering why doesn't it smoke? It is an active volcano. It doesn't smoke anymore because it's a danger for its health. No, it's a joke. No, it doesn't smoke because of the last eruption. It wasn't so long ago. It was 1944. Okay, during the World War II, Allied troops, Americans, were here, and they were sophisticated with some sophisticated tools, and it was the first time that an eruption was recorded by Americans, by the Allied troops. It was just one day. It lasted only one day. The eruption was 1944, and we just said, and I wasn't there, but my grandmom said it was its opinion about the war. Just say stop war, go away to Americans. Go American. First, go away to German. Okay, because we were bombed twice. We were bombed first by German people, and we set free from Germans. And when Americans arrived, they bombed again because they didn't believe that Germans weren't here anymore. So Naples was bombed twice. Anyway, at a certain moment, the Vesuvius said, stop the war with an explosion. It lasted just one day, and after that eruption, there was a sort of stop. And so it stopped smoking. It doesn't smoke anymore since the last eruption. It's easy to understand that if it doesn't has any opening, it retains energy in it. And we know very well that the longer it sleeps, the stronger will be the eruption. So we just hope that not today, tomorrow. We have it no, but of course it is in the end the eruption, the 79 AD eruption, the most famous one, was as so strong that it's buried, not destroyed. They buried completely Pompeii, and completely Herculaneum. Okay, so didn't destroy it because they were preserved by the eruption. That's important. But it was so strong because the Vesuvius, the volcano, had slept so long, because Roman people living there didn't know that the mountain they were dealing with was a volcano. They didn't know at all. They just knew that the soil was fertile, the soil was good for the wine, and so on. Now I want to drive your attention to another bay. This is the Bay of Bagnoli. From this perspective, we can see the stadium. You know, here in Naples we have a strong feeling for football, the soccer, and we are able to see over there the circle you see there. Yeah, can you see the stadium there? I'm just pointing it out. We can ci potevamo ok, qui, ok, sì, ok, we stop for a while. We can stay 20 minutes to breathe some air and so on. Look at this marvelous, gorgeous view of Bagnoli. There's a long promenade there, very avenue on the sea, and we can see the other two islands. We saw Capri, and we can see from here Ischia, you see Ischia. The island of Ischia is very famous for wellness because it is a volcanic island, so they take advantage from the water for water springs and thermal water. And near Ischia there is the other island, the smallest one, which is Procida here. And you see this was an industry for iron, and now they are just it was closed down. Okay, so come and enjoy the view from this perspective. Just 15 minutes, okay? For your pictures as well.
Oui, 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 oui. Voilà.
Eres español.
Español, probably. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro,
What was that?
And the Capri is on the southern part. You can see from here. No, this is the northern part. Okay? And the northern part is Ischia and Procida, which is not so north. The other one is famous for wellness. This is a wellness tourism all year.
Maria, could you take a picture of us? We don't have a picture together yet.
Oh, I'd be happy to.
Please. I promised my friend, she said, follow anyone today.
I'd be happy. Are you right? Yeah. Are you right? Are you okay with AC?
Get out of the sun, too. And face it so we don't catch all of them.
You don't actually, because it's on the bus. Yeah, because it's not walking, so it's not a walking tour. They taking care of his husband.
Yes. Very cool. You've got the good colors today, too.
1 minute. Okay, bye.
Get a view now. Beautiful background.
Oh,
Let's get a
am I in the back?
background. We're going to get a few different backgrounds.
Let me move.
Capri.
Capri?
That's the furthest one?
No, because this is Ischia
Yeah.
and Procida. It's the northern part of the bay. Capri is in the opposite, but we
Okay.
will see it from the
Okay.
We were able
Nice
to
place.
see it before, but now it's not possible because we are facing the
Okay.
northern part. And when we turn to the opposite side, I will show you.
Very good.
I
Thank
will
you.
tell you something real. Very good. I don't
Ragazzi,
matter.
sistemati un po' la mascherina, non si vede.
Grazie.
Sì,
Thank
a
you.
hotel there.
What?
Hotel I went to. Tail estate.
Ah, where? Here in Naples or in
Capri.
Capri?
That's a job. See you
Okay.
you without the stick, Papa.
She hates my stick.
I do.
Mood of the city and
Everything.
everything. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so look over there. There is an hill, and exactly there is the burning volcanoes. So another volcano, but actually geologists say that it is the same, which is called the super volcanoes. Starting from Vesuvius, there is a caldera, the chamber, the magnetic chamber under our feet, under the entire Bay of Naples, and it ends there in the Solfatara. Once it was possible to visit Solfatara, these burning rocks. Now it's not because it's closed, but it was an interesting experience to go there and see these mounts of volcanoes, small mounts of volcanoes, where you could feel, you could see lava, of course, and you could experiment personally the power of the volcanoes. It was, and you could see steam as well. Nowadays, it is possible to reach the volcano, the Vesuvius. I mean, you can go at the very top of the volcanoes. It's not very tiring because you arrive by bus or by car until a certain point. We call it 1,000 meters. So you are 1,000 meters, and you have to only walk half an hour, and you can. It's a very nice hike. You can reach the mouth of the volcano. It is very interesting to see the steam coming out. That is, of course, a proof that it is still active, so it is only sleeping. So we are going back. This is a romantic street here where young people come to spend their evenings. You can imagine it's romantic. They stay here in the car, and until a few years ago it was possible to find somebody selling newspapers. You can imagine for what use, newspaper to just to cover, and protect from the eyes, foreign eyes. But yeah, it was a man. It was a job selling newspapers for young people, meeting in the car. Nowadays, it's hotels are better, undoubtedly. Okay, so now. So that was the northern part of the Bay of Naples, and now we can see the southern part and look at Capri Island. Capri Island is over there. Unfortunately, today is a little bit misty, but you can see that. Okay, Capri, the island of the dreams, the most well-known island, and it is the only one which is not volcanic. If you go to Capri, you can see it's a limestone rock. It's not volcanic, and so now geologists says that once it was a part of the mainland, because the peninsula Sorrento is over there. So Sorrento Peninsula is there, and the same rock, and so Capri was attached to the mainland, and we don't know when exactly they got separated. Maybe a catastrophe, undoubtedly. It's a spot here. I mean, it's a place where catastrophes are due to the presence of volcanoes.
So where is Pompeii?
Pompeii is, I will show you, if you have as a point of reference the Vesuvius up there, at its right. Okay, so Pompeii is at its feet, but on its right from this perspective, of course. Okay, it's right. What happened? 1779 AD, in October, 24th of October, a day, it was a day like another. They saw a column coming out from the mountain. It was like a pinus tree, a pinus umbrella tree. It was the description of an eyewitness. It was Pliny the Younger. He wrote a long letter to Tacitus where he described exactly what he was seeing in that moment. It was a large, a very high column coming out the mountain. It is like a pinus umbrella trees. That's why this region is very it's you see this area is full of pinus trees area, and so this description, look at this, we have in front of us the entire Bay of Naples. So the Sorrento Peninsula is there, Pompeii is in the middle between Vesuvius and the peninsula, and that day, the day of the eruption, unfortunately, the wind went in that direction. That's the reason why Pompeii was completely covered 4 meters. So Pompeii disappeared completely from the map. and they didn't know where it was until so the eruption was 79 AD. The first traces of that past, of that city, were founded in 1738. They couldn't find anything about Pompeii. They started digging by chance. It was not on purpose. It was because they wanted to have a well. A very rich man wanted a well, and it was in the middle of the stage. He found some marble underneath, and they understood they were in the middle stage of a theater, Roman theater, and it was Herculaneum. From that moment, they understood, okay, if there is a Herculaneum, must be Pompeii as well. Okay, just get up and enjoy the landscape.
Taglio di su.
Americo Vespucci.
No, no, no.
Thank you. Very classy. You are always at the back. Sorry. You're always there.
I'm always in the way.
You're in the way. Let's have a picture with Pompeii in the back. Papa.
I'm just getting out of the way.
I just want to get a picture with Pompeii and Vesuvius. For Bill.
Do a selfie like this.
Yeah. Oh, do that again.
Oh, where's your mouth? Hey. It's so romantic and fuzzy looking.
Oh God, that's me. Naples.
You don't want me.
Put thing over on the side.
I'm the same old man.
No, just move that.
Tuck it in.
As the backdrop.
This is the chili peppers I was talking about for the fortune, for the black and so on.
Spicy hot.
Spicy. Hot.
I'm Norwegian, I can't do that.
€1, Lucky Charm, €1, souvenir, €1.
I'm missing you. Help us come back. You're doing a great job.
He gets double tip.
It's part of, just like you said, this is part of the tour.
Because you felt the same. This is important.
In the States, of course, traffic lights. Here, we've got, we live on an island, so we got the traffic stop. But everybody has to stop.
Drive here for anything.
You just moved in.
And you have to know that thanks to new findings, because we have new paintings uncovered, brought to the light with the excavations, we discovered that it wasn't like that. It was with one cone, it was higher, it was with one peak. So that means that after that eruption, 79 AD, the peak collapsed. And now we have the new shape, we have the new caldera. The right part you see now, it's a new volcano. When we say new, we say after 79 AD eruption. And the part you see on the left is the oldest volcano, which was on the top, which collapsed, and it isn't a volcano anymore, it's a mountain now. Okay, it's Mount Somma, and between the two peaks you see from this perspective, there is a valley. Okay, so this part, the part you see on the left, is not a volcano anymore. So enjoy this fantastic view. It was the place which was chosen by Greeks who were attracted. What attracted Greeks, Romans? Because the Romans chose this area. Pompeii was so booming because it was the favorite place of aristocratic people from Roman Empire. So what attracted Greeks, Romans, French, and so on? Of course, the answer is in your eyes, the natural beauties, okay? The good weather, the good climate. People are always welcoming, are always open to foreigners. I can tell you, we are very welcoming and very warm as well. And so, this, of course, and another very important thing was the fertile soil. Of course. Huh? Okay, I read, because yesterday it arrived, the big ship you see there, it's the Amerigo Vespucci, the most famous, it was built here in Castellammare di Stabia. Amerigo Vespucci is part of the Navy academy here in Italy, and sometimes you come here to be visited as well. So it's possible to buy some tickets. I don't think today because it's still in the middle of the day, but maybe in the next days it is possible to enter, to buy tickets and visit Amerigo Vespucci ship. Look at these rocks, the yellow tuff rocks, yeah? The tuff, which is volcanic. And houses are inside the rocks. We are part of the volcano. Quindi andiamo lì da Leopoldo.
Dove vuoi tu?
Da Leopoldo ci fermiamo e gli facciamo fare il caffè. A Sfogliatella. Okay, so now we will stop very close to a bar. You can have a sfogliatella, the pastry. It is like a shell. You will see it, and it's with leaves, lots of leaves on it. Sfogliatella, it's typical, but you can have also a gelato. It's a good gelato. So we have this place. It's called Mergellina. We have lots of people, Neapolitan people, not only tourists. This is another very important things about Naples. If you go to Rome, if you go to Venice, Milan, I don't know, Florence, you will find spots only for tourists. This is very important. In Naples, we don't leave the best to tourists. The best spots are for Neapolitans first, and the tourists are welcoming. So that's good thing for the quality of food, of course, because if you go to a restaurant where even Neapolitan people are there, you can eat very well, undoubtedly. So you won't find any places for tourists here in Naples. Tourists mixed up with Neapolitan people, and that gave you, it's a good guarantee for good quality of food, and also proof that we are not stupid. So get ready to get off. Se riesci a parcheggiarti proprio sullo stesso lato.
No, a sinistra?
L'altra
No.
volta si è parcheggiato, forse
No,
questo è troppo
c'hanno-
grande. Okay, we will stop on the right and we have to cross the street just to leave the emotion of crossing the street to arrive at the opposite side of the street feeling as a survivor. And we can have in a Casa Infante, of course you can choose, it's not a problem for me, you could choose. There are 1, 2, 3 bars where you can have your coffee. Here in Italy, in Naples in particular, coffee is taken at the counter. So you buy at the counter and you have a standing. Okay, it's an habit. Infante, it's one of the best. Okay, so come with me. Okay, I give you time. So it's 35. We will see at 50. Okay. Okay, so
Where you going?
10 and 50.
Are we gonna follow you?
Try 10 to 11.
They look like they're easier to go down.
Use the crossing zebra.
Are you going to go to the cafe?
80.
Then I can drink and pee. If you know what I mean. Now, is there a crosswalk, or do you just take your chances?
Take your chances.
Are you feeling lucky? Hey, you are good.
They just like to toot their horns here.
Toot toot. 1940. So,
I would say down in that place area.
well, I'll worry about that later. Oh, yeah, there might be a sit down if you want to sit down. Hey,
There's nothing down here. You want to go to the bathroom?
well, I could. I don't have to. Okay. You gonna order for me?
Couldn't take my €5 because, or 10 because it was taped.
Hey. Give it to the bus driver.
I gave it to another. Well, yeah, it's 10, but I might. I like this. Gotta stir it up well
Oh.
to
Well, I
get the
didn't do
ice
that.
part down the bottom. So it'll get cold. Because you can't take anything with you.
Right.
That's considered rude. But I thought I'd give us something cold. How was the bathroom?
Fine. I didn't leave the door open because I couldn't figure out a light. But,
Oh.
yeah.
Was it clean? Looked nice on the outside.
No soap, but got a good rinse.
I have hand sanitizers.
Voila.
I gave him $1. I had a coin back and I gave it to her. She's like, Roxy. Yeah, that went down easy. That was good.
Like a chocolate malt or something. You have my sweat rag today?
You can finish mine.
Thank you.
I got some of that on my fingers. So.
What?
The sticky.
Oh, much better.
Oh, this feels good. You want to do your hands?
I guess I better.
Oh, it feels good in the cold.
How's that?
God, I couldn't drive here for anything.
Oh, I think it's just a riot. But that's just the way it is.
It's so beautiful here. I love it.
What do we have for time?
We should probably get going.
Yeah. I don't want to be one of those people.
No. Do you want to take a swig?
What?
Do you want another swig?
Whatever. There, I slurp. Thank you.
I was going to order a piece of pizza, but
No,
it was fat.
I don't want anything to happen like the last place we tried to order a salad or whatever it was.
Oh, no, you just get it right there when you're
Well, I like to be safe. Neither am I. Maybe this will be one day we will not gain weight.
Non ho la videocamera? Ciao!
Okay, go. Born again. Man. It's a nice boat, huh?
Fritz would like that. The old wood.
That's a lot of work. Sand and varnish, sand and varnish. Sand and varnish.
Ciao. Ciao signora.
No, that's
Stephanie.
Who'd you step in?
I don't know. Something sticky. I don't want to know what it was.
Very dirty for here.
Hmm?
I notice it's dirty. It's not very, they don't clean it very well. The city.
A lot of spots.
Yeah.
Somebody do what?
Up onto the bus, I think.
Gelato was good.
Yeah,
Best.
yeah, the best in your life. When I say that, somebody says that I love too much Naples. No, that's true. We like we put more sweet.
More sugar. There's two things. More sugar or more butter. Makes everything better.
We love it. Okay, what's your
The time?
yeah. That's, I think it's not a good thing to see things without tasting. Because if you're visiting a place, you have to taste some. Yeah, that's why
That's why I take pictures, because, yeah, I got the history, but I love the life.
I found
This
the
is the
building.
life.
We went past the building around the square and I saw it where my grandma
Yeah.
lived.
Oh,
We went by
is it true?
up
She's
from the
Greek and
harbor,
Italian.
Ah, yeah.
And I found it on Google Maps and I saw
Yeah.
the building and I got pictures of
yes,
it.
you can.
Yes.
Okay, so my friend B, I know that you love.
She also has family in Florence.
They're in front of us.
Do you miss me, Mary?
No,
Marie?
it's okay.
Aspetta, fammi vedere a che ora ci vanno. 10 minuti. Ok, non molto prima. Ok, no, no, no. Ok, facciamo di nuovo.
Come lo vedo io? Come lo vedo io?
Ok, andiamo piano piano. Ok. Cioè, mi sono filmata e fatto bene. Ok, so just sorry because I needed to check because there was they told me to do different things, but there was a mistake on the plan. So I'm right. Anyway, okay, sorry for this. The port you see here is the pleasant port, so for yacht, for luxury yacht. So this is the Mergellina, where from the etymology, where the sea, where the water is clean. But of course, this was the original name. Anyway, this is a port. It is a pleasant port. So for luxury, it's not public transport. Because the port with the public transport, with the hydrofoils, with the ferries, and so is the one where you arrived this morning. So it's the big cruise ships, and there is a place where you can take hydrofoils. I mean, fast ferry boats to reach the islands. So 50 minutes and you reach Capri from Naples. And 1 hour to reach the other two islands, Ischia and Procida islands. Look at these waterfront hotels. Yeah, here, as you can imagine, this is a very elegant, very rich area. And all this see here was built after the unity of Italy, when here in Naples there was a demographic boom. So It was already populated, but after the unification of Italy, we had a very boom. So people were attracted to come here, to settle down here, and then we had the immigrations. The second, after the war, we had two flows of immigrations to United States. That's why we had lots of people leaving this area, but it was after the two wars, because Naples in particular, as I told you, was bombed, was destroyed by bombs. And we always say that Pompeii was preserved by the pyroclastic, the ashes and cinders covering it, and unfortunately was destroyed by bombs during the World War II. And so now they are, of course, they are restoring them. Look at this area, it's a fantastic area where young people come, and this is a new stop in here, new subway stop which connected the entire city of Naples. The conception of the underground, the subway, is a compulsory, a mandatory museum. So it's, as I told you at the beginning, it's the modern part of Naples, because they decided to have some stations where they could have exhibitions of modern art. So it's a sort, it's not a sort, it is a mandatory museum where travelers, everyday travelers, can see, can enjoy the paintings from the modern art. So that's one station is with a particular theme, has got a particular themes. For example, the one which is in front of the port where you arrived is dedicated to Roman port, because they found 5 ships from a Roman period, from the 1st century AD. Look at this this part of the waterfront avenue, and the castle you see there is the oldest castle here in Naples. It is called the Castle of Eggs. Why egg? The Castle of Egg, because of maybe 2 theories about this. One, maybe because of the shape, is ovoidal shape, sort of egg, because of the color, so it reminds us an egg. But the other theory, the other hypothesis about this name is a legend. So you know, this is a very old place, so we have lots of legends from the past. The legend says that Virgil, a Latin poet, was considered a sort of a magician, and so they say that he decided to hide an egg inside the room of the castle. We don't know exactly where exactly he put that egg, but we know that the destiny of the city of Naples is linked to that egg. That means that if it falls down, of course it breaks, Naples will be destroyed. But anyway, the egg is still there according to this legend, and Naples is nice, it's good, it's alright.
Adesso, perché che ha detto 10 minuti prima dobbiamo
10
entrare,
minuti.
poi sono che l'11, ma come lo
Ok.
fa?
Allora, rifacciamo quella parte della...
fa...
Scendi, però scendi di qua non puoi scendere.
A destra, via Via
a
d'Amore,
destra,
e
poi ci troviamo sul lungomare.
poi piano piano, piano piano.
Piano piano. Va bene, piano piano, ci facciamo quella parte là.
Che tu devi andare dove sta Witton, cose...
No, lo fare adesso, mo quella parte lì, no,
No,
fammi
no,
venire
facciamo,
da
non si può mai sapere. Allora, pure se è 20 minuti non hanno problema. Quando sta fino all'orario, 11 e...
No, ma va bene così. No,
No,
ma è bello perché tu non scendi e ci vediamo il castello da vicino.
Sì, io vado
capito?
piano
Vai
piano.
piano piano, tu ti fermi pure 5 minuti, non è bene che vigili a rompescatole.
Stanno girando qualche film.
What's written on the bus here?
Where?
It's the company, the agency. It's D'Agostino. It's the name of the company. Okay, D'Agostino Tour. Okay, so in a few minutes we will be able. We just go down in a certain moment in that street. We will be facing the island of Capri. Okay, that's the moment when Capri. Until 1 century ago, Capri was only a fisherman island. That's all. It wasn't so famous. It wasn't so well known all over the world. Everything started when a painter from Germany came. Ah, qui non puoi girare. Ok,
No,
look. Ah, ok, tanto comunque
Allora,
lo
andiamo
puoi
piano
vedere.
piano strada qui.
Okay. A painter from Germany arrived here in Capri and he wanted to see the famous private swimming pool of the Emperor Tiberius because he had read about this. Okay, he had heard about this very famous swimming pool, private swimming pool of the second emperor Tiberius. Tiberius was after Augustus emperor. And we know that Tiberius didn't rule the empire from Rome. No, he didn't want to rule the empire from Rome. He chose the island of Capri as a place where he wanted to live because he was afraid of being killed by somebody as a sort of shelter. So he ruled 10 years the empire from Capri, Tiberius. And so this painter, this German painter, went to the island of Capri and just asked everybody, I want to see the swimming pool of Tiberius, and nobody wanted to lead him to this, and just he paid a lot of money to have this service. At the end, he managed to do this, and he entered in this wonderful blue grotto. The blue grotto was a private Tiberius swimming pool, and so he painted it. And so from that moment, it was the island of Capri was promoted, and so it was of course it started to become one of the most famous islands in the world. But why didn't anybody wanted to lead him to this grotto? Because it was considered the dwelling of phantoms, because they could see some waves on it, and there were some stages underneath the water, that it looked like phantoms, and so it was considered damned. But of course, imagination. Okay, we are again near the port. As you can see, this is a very smart tour, because we are just enjoying this. Your ship is there, the Viking is there. So I just remind you that it leaves at 5 o'clock, 5 p.m. They told me to tell you maximum at 5 o'clock. If you want to go around, once we arrived, you can go. Now you know Naples very well, and you know that everything is very close to. Tanto tu per entrare nel porto devi andare comunque là in fondo.
Fuori davanti. Sta andando piano piano.
Sì, sì, sì. If you have any questions, do you want to know something in particular that I didn't talk about?
What was that brown monument across from the embassy?
Yeah, it was dedicated to people dead during the war.
The war.
Yeah, it's a new one, because that area was it has been restored in the last year, because it was built a new station on the subway. So as I was telling you, the construction started exactly 46 years ago, when I was born, exactly the same date of my birth. It was 1976. They started to dig, and it isn't finished yet. So another thing typical of Neapolitan people, that we start things and we don't finish it. I just leave a future generation to finish things. Just like a philosophian said, Naples is a city suspended, okay, because we live a sort of a time suspension. We don't finish things. And by the way, the word suspended remind me a habit we have here in Naples. Well, I don't know if you have heard about the suspended coffee. Have you heard about this? Suspended coffee. That means that people go drinking his own coffee, and who wants, of course, pay for 2 coffees. One is suspended, is for somebody who can't afford coffee.
That's nice.
And so sometimes you see a blackboard. On it there is one, and it is written 1, 2, 3, 4 coffee, suspended coffees, waiting for somebody asking for it.
That's nice.
Entriamo, no? Andiamo diritto, entriamo.
Sì. Okay, look at this, for example, these images you see from these posters are example of what has been found underneath this and what will be exposed when the subway station will finish. Look, amphoras, potteries from Roman period, and we found as well 5 boats from Roman. Look over there, excavation from Roman times, and everything was covered. We just discovered them by chance, because they wanted to build the underground near the new port. But now it's impossible to build something there, because there is ruins from Roman period. So they changed the program, they changed the plan, they changed the project, and we have the underground station in the inner part. Of course, every new findings change the project. That's normal, and this happens every time we start digging.
What's that yellow?
Yeah, this is a church. Okay, look at this tiled dome. You can see this is a very this church has been restored very lately, and you see this ceramic tiles covering the dome, which are typical, the two typical colors of the region, which are green, which comes from the lush vegetation. I'm sure you noticed the lush vegetation in this area, even until the top of the Vesuvius. This is very strange because usually volcanoes don't have the highest part covered by trees, plants. In this case, Vesuvius is very rich in vegetation. So the two typical colors of this area are green from the vegetation, of course, and yellow. Yeah, there is blue as well, because blue is from the sea, but yellow because it comes from the sun, because you know Naples is considered the city of the sun. Yeah, because the sun, the songs as well as O Sole Mio. No, do you know this is in dialect? This is in Neapolitan dialect. So O Sole Mio, that means my sun. And so the other reason of yellow color is lemon. Yeah, because this area is rich in lemon trees, and we use lemon for everything, even for pasta. We have some recipe with the pasta, with the zests of lemons. And of course, this is the place where limoncello, the liquor made using zests of lemon, not juice, only zests of lemons. And I will tell you the recipe, because my mom makes a good limoncello. She's very good at doing it, and I tried to make it just once, and my mom said, no, it's not for you. Do your job, please. She said, it's very easy, but you showed me that it is very easy to make a bad limoncello. So she said, stop doing it. So it's forbidden for me. Anyway, we take, I just explained
Say how you make
how she makes. We need 8 lemons. I do remember this. 8 lemons. We just peel out the zests, but only, this is very important, only yellow part, not white part. White part is bitter. Okay, so just taking off the yellow part, and leave these zests in pure alcohol. Okay, here in Italy you can buy pure alcohol everywhere. Okay, it's legal, and so you can buy it. Pure alcohol means 10% alcohol. You leave it, recipe once, 8 days. My mom 10 days, because she changes them always. Anyway, 10 days in the alcohol, and after that you filter. You just take alcohol, yellow alcohol, and you boil water, sugar on it, stir, and you put everything together. After 2 hours in the freezer, you have your limoncello ready. So, in theory, it's very easy. I don't know what was wrong with my limoncello. The most important thing I forgot to tell you, that the lemons must be organic and from this area. Yeah, from this area, because this area is of course for rich in mineral, the soil is rich in mineral. It's the place where we have the sun 300 days per year, more or less like this, and so this is important. Okay, we are almost back, safe and sound, all of us. This is important. I hope you enjoyed the tour. And sorry if I love too much my city, but it's of course it's part of my job, of course. And I hope I just gave you the right keys to appreciate my city. And thank you to Luigi as well, because it was very skillful to drive us back safe and sound. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Grazie.
Grazie.
Why don't they fix those things, those old buildings?
From the port, they were offices for the port, and they